What is going on, Aries? It's Chris Anthony coming at you guys live and direct once again, and this is going to be your general reading for the time period of January 20th through the 31st. So your mid-month reading, definitely a little bit late, Aries. So I'm just making my rounds around to you, but the great thing is that you guys get pretty much a lunar eclipse reading, because the lunar eclipse is happening tonight. And I'm already feeling the energy. That's why I had to go ahead and try to jump to your reading before I just get overwhelmed, because I don't know what's about to happen with this full moon or with this, lunar eclipse, super blood moon, wolf moon. I don't even know. There's so many names to it, but I'm feeling it. So Aries, let's get right to it. This is going to be a general reading, so it may not resonate with everybody. If it does resonate with you, though, then do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, comment. All those things that let me know you're watching the channel and it resonates with you and you like it. If it doesn't resonate with you, then you can catch me in one of my previous Aries readings or one of my future readings that will be coming up in the month of February, right? Aries, also want to say major shout out to you guys coming out strong for pretty much all of my readings. I get a lot of support from Aries. All the liking and subscribing and commenting, I like it all, so I definitely want to say I appreciate you guys. And I think that's all of my announcements. Let's get right into it. We're 1 minute 30 seconds in. So this right here is going to be your present energies like we always do it. And then we're going to get into your future energies right over here. And that's going to be finishing up, the end of January going into February on that column over there. By the way, the cards that I'm using, because I get a lot of questions about this, is the Rider-Waite Tarot is the first set that I use, and then my second set is the Gustav Klimt deck, and that's why I get a lot of questions on. It's like real artsy, right? All right, so let's get into it, Aries. Starting off, crowning your reading, pretty good card. We had the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups here. Could be representing you just kind of being fulfilled a little bit, having some emotional fulfillment, feeling some contentment with your situation, with your life, also representing kind of like completing a cycle when it comes down to emotions, an emotional cycle. And that would make sense, especially right now, like I said, because we're right here at this lunar eclipse, and the moon has a lot to do with your emotions. So this period that I believe is going to be happening, this whole portal that's going to be opened up, this shift that's happening, is going to be tied into our emotions, also our subconscious mind, because the moon represents the subconscious. And that's a theme that I'm feeling with you, Aries, too, because I see all this blue, this whole column right here that's blue. Starting with the Star card, the High Priestess, and the Nine of Cups, that blue kind of lets me know that it's a focus for you could be subconscious right now. You could be feeling a deep connection to your subconscious, to the promptings that the subconscious kind of gives you at the time. All the different little signs that you pick up on, the synchronicities that you see. I think you do want to pay attention to that going into the end of January, beginning of February, because you could be, running up on some symbols, some clues that can lead you on to bigger symbols and clues or revelations, discoveries about yourself, about your life, about your path, right? So yeah, I'm feeling a lot of subconscious energy right here with the theme of your reading. Okay, so let's get back to it. So the Nine of Cups representing that contentment that you could have right now. You could just be feeling a level of contentment or a level of completion with something that maybe you were wishing for, because this is the wish fulfillment card also. So something could be coming into your life, or you could have got something, or, ran upon something that you kind of had been thinking about for a while, wishing upon a star. I wish upon a star. Okay, I can't sing, but I just heard that song. Right? So some of you guys are getting some type of wish fulfillment that comes in, and you just kind of feel kind of good about it. Kind of smug a little bit too. Like, yeah, that's what's up. Like, I knew I was going to get that, right? But overall content. You just kind of feel content with your situation, which is a good thing. Clarifying that you have the Nine of Wands. So another nine, representing another cycle that's completing. A 9 month period really can complete a cycle for us when it comes down to you building something, with you trying to birth out something, or just clearing karma or whatever it is. So you have the Nine of Wands here, which could be representing, just you kind of enduring something that was kind of heavy for you. It could have been burdensome. It could have been like a battle that you were fighting. It could have been internally or externally, that you had to overcome a lot of different things. You had to jump through a lot of hoops, overcome some hurdles, and maybe you're at a place where you're getting some type of completion with that, and it's making you feel good a little bit. It's making you feel like, wow, finally I got what I wanted. After a long time of toiling and planting seeds and going back and forth and, doing it one step at a time, it seems like you've been building something here. It could be internal too, because I'm feeling that subconscious. So you could just find that you have come to a place, especially after this lunar eclipse, that you kind of only dreamed of in the past, when it comes down to maybe the amount of balance that you have within yourself, or the place that you are mentally, the way you look at life, your outlook on life, the way you perceive your reality. You could have just a whole paradigm shift that's happening, but it's not like a major paradigm shift. It's just something that you've been building on within your mind and subconscious mind for a while, and now you're actually starting to see that there's a change there. So let's get deeper into it and see what's happening. High Priestess. So like I was talking about, that subconscious mind, this is having to do with your intuition. So you could be, being prompted to tap into your intuition at the time. Use your intuition. You could just feel a deep connection to your intuition right now, especially with this energy coming in from this lunar eclipse. You could just be wanting to insult your intuition on the moves that you're wanting to make. Right? The direction you want to head to in life, where you want to be this year, what you want to do this year. Because this year is kind of like a whole new beginning, and it's kind of, I feel like it's solidifying what we're going to be doing, going into the rest of our lives in 2019, especially coming into 2020. We're already going to be there. But for you, I think you're really consulting your intuition at this moment, and just seeing exactly, specifically what it is you want to invest your time and energy into, who it is you want to invest your time and energy into, right? And then we had clarifying it was the Ten of Wands. So Ten of Wands represents another completion of a karmic cycle, right? So you're ending a lot of things right now. I think you could be wrapping up a lot of things from the past. A lot of emotional baggage could be being wrapped up right now. A lot of memories from the past, maybe having to do with a relationship, or just experiences that you've had maybe in the last couple of years, last 9 years, last 10 years. You could just be reflecting and doing a lot of retrospection on like everything you made it through, everything that you used to see as one thing and now you see it as another thing, and I think what you're going to notice is that your intuition, you're just going to, this already, but now you're having to sit down with yourself and you're starting to notice like how much your intuition has led you to different paths and stop you from going through other paths, right? Led you to different people, connections. And I think you're going to start to, it feels like you're going to start to kind of like give your intuition maybe more recognition than you have been so far, because I don't know, for some reason I feel like a lot of you guys could have been giving it, it's hard getting this out for some reason. I feel the messages coming through and I'm trying to kind of get it out into words, but I feel like you have been kind of given the recognition to everything that you have achieved in life. Maybe, to the way you think and the way how smart you are, how intelligent you are, and just your ability to do things, and just, be a fast learner, a fast thinker, kind of your logical mind. You've been given a lot of recognition to your logical mind when it comes down to achievements and things that you've achieved. But it's something about this new achievement that you're getting, this new wish fulfillment that's coming into your life that, you know, is making you feel content, making you feel happy, making you feel like, wow, I finally got this. That's making you give credit to your intuition, your gut, right? Because whatever that you're getting at this time, or whatever is being revealed to you from the universe, you're seeing that it's mostly tied into your intuitive nature. And so your intuitive nature is kind of being uncovered at this time. Maybe you're tapping into another level of intuition, another level of just seeing things from your subconscious mind, you know, from your intuitive view. And it's kind of like, as you wrap up this cycle that you're in, or that you're ending right now, and as you're reflecting, it's kind of like you're thinking back on all of the times your intuition kind of led you down certain paths. It's deep, Aries. It's deep, right? And I never see this much type of energy with Aries. It's almost mostly like red, you know, fire. But now I'm seeing like emotional blue, subconscious, deep, right? Instead of seeing like the surface passion or deep passion, I'm seeing you more like in a laid back time, because I think you're doing a lot of reflection. So let's keep it moving. Let's go right down here, because it's like a streamline of energy right here. You have the star card. So the star card could represent, you know, once again, like a whole new cycle coming in. You know, you kind of focusing your attention on yourself. This is like that self-love card. You actually becoming more attractive too. A lot of people could be like looking at you right now, or just seeing your energy and being attracted to it, being drawn to it. You know, you could be standing out from the bunch right now. And I think it's because of what's happening internally with you. Like you're having like a lot of recollection and doing a lot of retrospection right now. And it's causing you to kind of like tap into another gift that you have, or another mode of expression, right? And that mode of expression is making you shine even more, Aries. Like it's making you stand out. And all Aries stand out anyway. But it's like you're tapping into another level inside of your internal world and uncovering some things. You're kind of like, what it feels like you're doing to me is connecting your conscious mind with your subconscious mind. And now some of the things that you just used to do subconsciously, you just used to do it just out of, you know, intuitive hunch, and you weren't even conscious of it at all. Now it feels like you're becoming conscious of it. And that's why what I feel with this star card and this Ace of Swords right here, because the Ace of Swords represents an evolution of the mind. It represents like a new way of thinking, a new mode of thinking, a new MO, right? Modus operandi, whatever they call that. I don't know where that came from, but it's like you're switching up the way that you're viewing your reality, and it's having to do with you consciously seeing what you have been doing all along subconsciously. Aries, where is this coming from? I don't even know. Like, the cards really have nothing to do with this, but I just feel it's coming in with a message. So this is definitely an intuitive reading all the way. Yeah, so that's what it feels like, Aries. Is kind of like, I feel like you're consciously starting to see what you've been doing subconsciously all along. You know, and it feels like you could be tapping into your higher self at the moment. Like, almost like what I'm seeing is you having a sit down with your higher self. I'm picturing you like going to like sit down at a table and drinking a cup of coffee. Like you guys are at Starbucks or something. Like this is just symbolically. But you're kind of like having a conversation with your higher self. And it feels like your higher self is revealing a lot of things to you that, you know, you just didn't see before, because it was all happening subconsciously, and it was supposed to be happening that way. But now it's kind of like you're looking back, and you're seeing, like, you're actually consciously seeing all of the intuitive steps that you made in the past and how you got to this point, but you did it subconsciously, so you really weren't consciously seeing it happening. But now it's being revealed to you for some reason. And that revelation is making you move forward into this next phase, into this new cycle, you know, this new portal that you're going into with a conscious way of doing things that was only done in the past subconsciously, if you follow where I'm going, right? Like, this is for somebody. So yeah, I feel you kind of like sitting down and just kind of doing a lot of thinking right now, maybe during this period of time, and really tapping into your intuition, really tapping into your subconscious mind, and going through that whole process of individuation. Um, Carl Jung, you know, he was like a psychologist back, I think, like in the 20s or 30s, but he is real good. He was like one of the few psychologists that was a spiritual psychologist. Like, he involved spirituality with the, you know, psychology world. And so he talks about the process of individuation. Some of you guys may want to look it up, and how it pretty much is the combination of you combining your conscious mind with your subconscious mind, and how everybody that's living goes through this whole phase. It's like a lifetime phase of, you know, starting with your conscious mind, you know, learning everything that you can consciously, but then going into the depths of your subconscious mind and going into your dark night of the soul and going deep down into your subconscious mind, moving beyond your shadow self, you know, doing your shadow work, facing all your deep fears and all of that, to find out, you know, what's hidden inside of your subconscious mind. And you get to a place where you discover your great boon. And that's what I'm feeling with this sword. The great boon, according to Carl Jung, is like this hidden gift, this hidden talent that you have. It's like the Excalibur, right? It's like King Arthur finding the Excalibur. Or what else was it? What else? I can't remember. What was the cup that King Arthur sent his knights out into the forest to find? It was a cup. You guys can look it up. But the story was symbolic, that King Arthur story, of you actually going into your subconscious mind and uncovering this hidden ability, right? So that's what I feel like some of you guys are finding, Aries. And this has a lot to do with this. I feel a great connection to the Capricorn reading. So you guys may want to check out the Capricorn reading, because in that reading I was talking about how they were tapping into their sixth sense. It's almost similar with you, but yours is having to do more with your subconscious mind and uncovering kind of like some gifts, right? That was hidden in your subconscious mind, and now it's coming to the surface. It's coming up to the light, and you're starting to consciously see what you have been subconsciously doing your whole life for some reason. Woo! Let's keep it moving. All right, so Six of Swords. So this represents you moving away from a way of doing things, a way of being. And that's what I think is going to happen once you have this recollection, because you're dealing with like all of your past emotions at this time. And I think it's definitely being triggered and brought up to the surface with this lunar eclipse. So it's the lunar eclipse is kind of like having that planetary alignment and having that energy of making your emotions come up to the surface, so that you can kind of like deal with them. And I don't feel like for you this is like this crazy just process of you doing shadow work and, you know, just having to cry yourself to sleep. For some of you guys maybe, but I think for you, mostly Aries, you're just doing a review. It's kind of like, you know, how you're at a job and your job has a 90-day review, or a third quarter or first quarter review. It seems like to me you're having like a third or fourth quarter review of your life, though, because you can feel you're going into a different stage of life. You're crossing over into a different plateau, right? And I've been talking about this in a lot of your readings, Aries, about how you're, you know, one of the readings was saying how you're moving from being the what was I saying? I could barely think because I had so many messages coming in. You were moving from being the lieutenant, yeah, and then graduating into being the general, right? Or from being the right-hand man of the mob boss, and now you're the mob boss, right? So you could feel yourself going into that deeper level of life, that you know, that graduation of life, and you're moving on from one mode of being to the other. So in between you doing that, you're reviewing everything that you've been through in the past and everything you've done in the past. And this is going to like line you up line your trajectory. I can't even talk right now. You know, line up your aim for where you're headed in the future. Let's keep it moving before I get stuck on this card. Right? So, then clarifying it, we have the Temperance card. So the Temperance card is a major arcana, and it could be representing how a level of balance is coming in. You know, because the Temperance card to me represents you balancing your inner world and your outer world. And mostly when I say your inner world, I'm meaning your emotions. And it shows you how your emotional world is deeply connected to your external world, right? Because we use our emotions to manifest. Like, we use our emotions to attract things into our lives. A lot of things that we attract into our lives have to do with our emotional state, right? So whatever emotional state you're in, it attracts things to you externally. It attracts scenarios to you, right? For you to go through and kind of, you know, it's deep. I don't want to get too deep into that conversation because this reading will go on forever, but I'm feeling that you're having an alignment with your emotions that is also connected to your subconscious, right? And your intuition. All that is all in the same boat. And that's what I'm kind of feeling like. Your Nine of Cups represents your emotions. The High Priestess represents your intuition. And then the Star card, I feel, represents your subconscious mind. And so you're having a certain shift that's going on that's balancing that whole mechanism within you, right? And it's almost like a straight line shift. That's why in the middle of your reading, you have like these three cards that all have to do with that, your emotions, your intuition, your subconscious. And those, it's kind of like a realigning is happening in that area for you. And you're going to start to see some things uncovered. And like I said, you're going to start consciously looking at certain things that used to happen subconsciously. And now it's time for you to take them on consciously. So now you're getting into more of a control of your ship, right? You're at the seat of control. And it's almost like, this is a crazy reading, Aries. I'm having to break down a lot. It almost feels like the universe is giving you more terrain within your own operation, within your own self, because whether you know it or not, most of us operate mostly out of the subconscious mind. Like everything that you do in your life a lot of times is ran by your subconscious mind, and you think you're doing most of it, but really it's your subconscious mind that's doing it. That's like attracting you to these different people, attracting you to these places, attracting you to this job, to this career, right? So that's what it feels like has been happening for you guys. But it's like you have tapped into a place where everybody can get to, but you're here, you know, you specifically, Aries, where it feels like a lot of things that were assigned to your subconscious mind is now being assigned to your conscious mind. So now you're going to consciously start doing some of the things in your life and in your world and in your inner workings that only used to be done by your subconscious mind, because you have done some inner work. So you're leveling up. So you're going to have another level of awareness when it comes down to the things that you bring into your world, you know? So this is kind of like you becoming that conscious creator, that co-creator with the universe, and the universe is giving you more responsibility in the way you create your world, right? Because a lot of times in our world, in our life, a lot of it can be chalked up to our path and our destiny and how things are just aligned to us because of, you know, who we are and what our star sign is and what house we are and what our birth chart says, right? A lot of things are programmed into us. But then there's another side of things where you start to kind of like remove some of the programming and you tap into the mainframe yourself, and you are the one that's in the operational room, right? So Aries, some of you guys are catching where I'm going. I know it's kind of jumbled a little bit, but that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like you are tapping into your mainframe and you are sitting at the seat of your soul. And you are the one on the controls now. Like, okay, let's do this. Let's do that, right? Instead of it just being your subconscious mind or your intuition. Like, you're still going to have that deep intuition, even deeper now, but it's going to be more consciously now, where you're not just doing things just to do them. You're doing things because you know exactly what's going on. So yeah, let's keep it moving, Aries. Ace of Pentacles. So because that whole transformation is happening with you, I feel you're having a new beginning in your finances, right? You're going to start attracting new finances, like new streams of income, new ideas to kind of bring you more income into your world, into your life, because now you have more clarity, right? So more clarity equals more abundance. More awareness, equals more abundance. The more you're present, for some reason, you just attract more abundance into your life. So I feel a new level of abundance coming in, that is tied into your inner strength with this strength card. What you have built internally, how you have fortified yourself internally is going to cause you to move forward financially in a greater way than you were before, because you've done the inner work. Aries, what's up? I like this reading for Aries. Like, I almost feel like it's a Pisces reading. Like, it's deep. So you guys are diving deep right now, Aries. And I know you guys can, not to, try to insult, how powerful an Aries is. I know you guys can dive deep too, but usually it's like, we're talking about your passions when I get in with the Aries. Like, I haven't done a reading to where we dived into your emotions and your subconscious mind yet. So I like it, Aries. Let's get into your future energies. Future energies, we have the Hangman, we have the Nine of Wands, we have the Ace of Swords, and then we have the Emperor. Right? So starting off with the Hangman. This is that reflection I was talking about. Like, because you have the Hangman, and then it's clarified by the Four of Swords, which is another card of reflection. So yeah, for the moment, for the time being, maybe into the end of January, you guys are just reflecting on some things, because you're diving deep to have this whole shift of perspective, right? You are becoming the captain and sitting in the seat of your soul, and more control is being given over to you when it comes down to consciously creating your reality, right? So in order to do that, before you can be promoted into this position, you are being called to kind of like reflect a little bit, hang upside down, see things from a different point of view. So the Hangman represents that. The Hangman hangs upside down from a tree, and he becomes enlightened because he's looking at things upside down. Like, imagine how things look when you look at it upside down instead of right side up, right? You have a whole new take on things. And that's kind of what's happening with you guys, because you're going into your subconscious mind, and you're kind of like having a talk with your subconscious mind consciously. It's almost going to feel like you're hanging upside down, because you're going down into the deepness that is you, right? You're tapping into the under layer of yourself, the operational mode. It's like some of you guys are tapping into the matrix of yourself. That's what I'm feeling like. I'm feeling like Neo going into the matrix, going deeper into the matrix. Some of you guys are going in to have that talk with your inner oracle, right? You know how Neo, if any of you guys are Matrix fans, you know how Neo had to go, and after all this training that he did, after he had already been awakened, and he was out of the matrix, that is, the living and waking illusion. He was out of the matrix. He was woke. He was training on the ship with Morpheus and Trinity, and they were kind of trying to put him up on game and tell him everything about himself. After he had a certain level of training, they were like, okay, now you're ready to go see the Oracle. And to me, that represents, in this reading with you having a talk with your higher self, right? You having a talk with your subconscious mind. Right? So now you're going to see the Oracle, and you're going to have a sit down with the Oracle, and she's going to tell you, your inner Oracle is going to tell you, like, what's going on and what is coming up in your life. And I love that scene from The Matrix, like when Neo sat down, and she was just kind of like telling him everything. She was like, you're going to have to make a decision. And then, in one hand, you're going to you know, be able to save your own life. And then on the other hand, you're going to have like Morpheus life to save in your hand. Oh, that's a deep scene. Please go watch that. If you guys have not seen the Matrix, at least go go to YouTube and search the part where Neo had to talk with the Oracle, because that's what I feel like is going on in this time period with you guys. Like you are talking with your inner Oracle, right? Let's keep it moving. We're 30 minutes in. Aries, 9 of Wands again, like we had over here. So you had the 9 of Wands, which represents, you know, you kind of like enduring something, you being that willing soldier, going through a lot of things, but still up and standing, still standing after so much has happened in the past, right? And still ready to fight another battle. But then it's clarified by the Moon card. So once again, that lunar eclipse affecting you, that lunar eclipse bringing some of your deep emotions up to the surface. You could be also facing some of your deepest fears at the moment, you know, fears that you already know of, but you know, they're like coming up to the surface just so you can like face them again and face a deeper level of them, and not only face them, but understand them, because we all have fears, and we all have like deep fears that some of us kind of like really never just get over. They never really go away. We just learn how to deal with them. Like some people said, I think it's like a quote like that, like you never get rid of your demons, you just learn how to live with them. And that's kind of what I feel right here. It's kind of like your deep fears are going to come to the surface and you're going to understand them more, right? Because there's only another aspect of yourself. And a lot of times when we do this deep shadow work, when we do this, when we go into and plunge into our subconscious mind, that's what you're doing. You're taking that dive deep into your subconscious mind. And a lot of times when we do that, it's only to understand ourselves better, right? That side of ourselves that's like afraid of something or has some fears, or, you know, that self-sabotaging side of ourselves. Sorry, I can't talk today. That a lot of times like we just try to push down and not deal with, or just overcome, like, you know, or try to banish out of our lives. It's a part of us, and it's not really made to be banished, just to be erased. It's made to be faced so you can understand it better, right? So this is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling you're taking that plunge into your subconscious mind, and within that plunge, you're going to face your shadow self also. That shadow self is the representation of all of your fears, you know, the things that hold you back, the things that sabotage your life. And you're kind of going to have a moment to understand it better. This is what this lunar eclipse is doing for you guys. You know, you're going to have a chance to love it more, to love yourself more. This is an opportunity for self-love. Not for you to like erase this fear and kind of like get rid of it, like expel it, because you can't expel it. It's kind of like you have to, right? It's not a battle to be won. It's you transcending it. Einstein said that some problems can't be solved on the same level that they were created, right? So some problems have to be solved on a different level, a higher level. And so that to me, you know, sounds like some things we can't just solve. We have to transcend them. And I think you're transcending some things, some of your fears that are deep, some of your emotions that are deep, that, you know, are coming to the surface at this time. You're going to transmute it. You're going to transcend it instead of just trying to conquer it and banish it and expel it from your life. You're choosing to understand it and to love it, you know, and to love that side of you, you know, because a lot of times in our deep emotions, deep shadow self, it's nothing else but our inner child, right? And us having to love our inner child, you know. So yeah, Aries, you guys are going deep. This moon has you diving deep. Ace of Swords is the next card. So once again, you have the Ace of Swords again. You know, clarity comes in. That moment of clarity is coming in for you. Once you dive deep, once you know, dive deep into your subconscious mind, you're going to have a new level of looking at life. You know, a new level of perspective, a new take on things. right? And this is also leading into your finances once again. A new beginning, a new start in your financial world. So you could be getting some ideas once you go down deep and take that plunge, and then you come back. You know, you guys have to look up the individuation. Carl Jung. Just do a quick study on him. Because that's what it's all about. Your conscious mind is taking a plunge into your subconscious mind and finding out some things about yourself. And now, after you take that deep plunge, you come back up to the surface. But when you come back up to the surface, this is also the hero's journey. Carl Jung was known for the hero's journey, if you've heard about that before. So look up the hero's journey. So you took this plunge, and now you're coming back up to the surface. This is what that Ace of Swords is like, representing you swimming back up to the surface, back to your conscious mind, after you had a sit down with your conscious mind, and you come back with some different ideas, some new approaches. You come back with some gifts, right? That's going to help you out in your everyday waking life, especially financially. So some of you guys could be choosing to go on a new path of financial security, or choosing to create a new stream of income just because you're looking at things differently, because you had that talk with your subconscious mind. You're combining the power of your conscious mind with your subconscious mind, and you're sitting pretty after that. You're taking on the Emperor card, you know? Like I said, this is you ruling your world even more than you have been before. Because a lot of times, whether we know it or not, we are being babysitted a little bit by the universe, you know, by our higher self. But now you're taking on a new level of control. It's kind of like your higher self is relinquishing some control and letting you now become a conscious creator, like you have been before, but now even more. It's like another level of you consciously creating. So this is you being that general, like I talked about in some of the old readings. You taking over, right? You had the Judgment card, so you're being called to this place of authority. You're being called to this place of power. It's like the universe is blowing that trumpet, like, yeah, it's time. Now it's time. Like I said, I was talking about that Matrix movie before, and how Neo did all this training. He kept leveling up. And then Morpheus looked at him and was like, okay, now it's time. Morpheus, right? He morphed, right? So Morpheus knew how to read the way that people transformed, you know, the way that people level up. Morpheus could see the gifts in people. He knew the gift that Trinity had. He knew the gift that Neo had, right? So he looked at Neo and was like, okay, now it's time for you to go and see the Oracle. So that's what's happening. You guys are leveling up. It's like the universe is saying, okay, now it's time. So you're going to go have this talk with the Oracle, with your subconscious mind. And after that, you're going to have a new level of authority in your own life, in your own world. So this is a shift for you, this lunar eclipse. Whew. And that was a lot, Aries. Like, I think I'm going to end the reading right there, because I have other signs to do tonight. So I gave you guys a lot, but I think it was needed. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that reading, Aries. Hopefully it wasn't too jumbled. I had a lot coming in, so I had to try to like get it out in English, right? But I had a lot of intuitive knowledge kind of like being channeled for your reading, so hopefully you understood that. And yeah, if you liked it, then let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Also, I do have personal readings open to the public right now. So if you want a more direct personal experience with me, you can email me. Also, I have my IG now open. And I'm going to post that in the description of the video. So check me out on IG. I'm going to start growing that, and I want you guys to be a part of that. Happy lunar eclipse. Happy super blood wolf moon. Right? And I'll see you guys later.